Hi. So, have you ever thought of picking up rugby as your lifelong career?
Yes, I have thought about that. I think quite a few of my teammates have gone to Japan to play professionally. So I think last year I kind of tried to see if I could go to Japan and play as a career, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So I don't know. It is a dream of mine. It would be cool to play professionally and to have a job that is a rugby player. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully in the next couple of years I'll get a contract.
So Japan, it seems that they have this more or well facilities or equipment?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially in Asia, I think Japan is the kind of the top team. They have the best league structure. They have a professional environment. I think in Hong Kong it's all amateur, and I think same with most of the Asian region. So I think yes, for players in Asia, going to Japan is something that they should strive for, I think.
Oh yes, but did your parents support you when you make this decision?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think my parents have been supportive of all my decisions, so I'm quite fortunate in that. With rugby, I think it's something that if you have the chance to do while you're young, then you might as well take it, because in 5-10 years I will not be able to play anymore. I'll be too old, too broken. So it's a nice thing to have their support in. Yeah.
Yes, but how about your job in marketing?
Yeah, well, I do have a job now. Obviously, I'd love to just play rugby full time, but I have to pay for myself and feed myself, all that kind of stuff. So basically, as a career, I have to have that at the moment. But if I do have the opportunity to get a full-time contract and become a professional, then I'd take it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you love rugby so much, so that you can make this decision and.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really enjoy rugby. I like playing. It's just I just find it really fun, and if I can get paid to do something that I like doing, then that's much better than doing something that I don't like doing. So yeah, by all means I would try.
Oh, so but when did you get started into rugby?
Well, I started playing rugby when I was probably about 6 years old, 6 or 7. So I started just at mini rugby. I started at Sandy Bay down in Port Phillip. I used to go down with my dad and kick a ball around, and then I think one day we saw a lot of other kids playing, and so I just joined in, and from then on I made some friends, and we just stuck together and played through school and then through junior grade. So it was just.
Also, you were influenced by your friends.
I think so. I think my dad is a big fan of rugby, so he's obviously put a ball in my hands from a young age. But then yes, my friends got into it. And so, when you're with your friends, you always just do what everyone else does. So yeah, it was kind of natural. We enjoyed playing with each other, and it was a fun thing to do on a weekend.
Also, you go on every weekend with your dad to play rugby, and you still continue?
Oh, well, not anymore. I think he's kind of past that now. He definitely still likes watching rugby and stuff like that. He doesn't really pass the ball around to me anymore. I think I do enough of that during the week anyway. So on the weekends, I like to just do my own thing. But yeah, he's still a big sports fan, and we play other sports. But yeah, I think with rugby and stuff, he just likes to watch now.
Oh, but you do to watch about the television and about some rugby competitions?
Yeah, for sure. I think especially now on TV, we have Setanta. It's the rugby channel. There's always something to watch. And throughout the year they have many big competitions such as the Tri-Nations and the Six Nations, and now the World Cup is coming up I think on Friday, so in a couple of days. So I think we'll definitely be watching a few games together.
Oh yeah. So do you have a lot of training and fitness work to do in your routine?
Yes, I do. And it's made quite hard, the fact that I have a full-time job. I have to train before work and after work. But yeah, I think Monday through Sunday, we have to go to the gym 4 times in the mornings, and then we have 3 training sessions in the evening. So in total, there's probably about 7 sessions in a week, and then possibly a game on the weekend. So it does take up quite a lot of time.
Also, is it tough to you to have both your job in marketing and having your training and fitness?
Yeah, sometimes. It obviously depends on what kind of week you're having at work. But I think in the beginning, I found it very difficult. It was I went from just playing rugby and just training to doing that plus a 9 to 6:30 job. So it does kind of take its toll, especially on your brain. Not enough brain power going on, but yeah, I think now I'm starting to get used to it, and I actually enjoy playing rugby. So I look forward to it. It gives me something to look forward to at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. So it's okay.
Also, how can you get relaxed or recover from your tiredness? And
Sleep, I think.
Sleep.
I think that's the most important thing. Sleep, and then I think after training sessions, our fitness coach, he's quite professional in what he does. We have ice baths, so they make us go into these ice baths. It's basically one of those wheelie bins filled with ice, so it's very cold. So once we finish training, we all have to stay in there for 1 minute. I think it helps with the getting your blood flow going, clearing out all your kind of excess lactic acid, which makes you tired.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that kind of stuff, and then obviously nutrition and stuff helps you recover faster.
So can you tell us more about your position in your team and what does it really do, or what is your responsibility?
Yeah, sure. Well, in rugby, I'm pretty much a scrum half or a fly half. So it's number 9 or 10. It means that I'm allowed to be quite small. I'm quite small for a rugby player. So my job is to basically link the forwards and the backs. So basically, we have the forwards who are the guys that win the ball. They kind of create some momentum, and the backs are the ones that kind of run fast and try and score the tries. So with my role, I guess I'm either a distributor, someone who passes the ball, who links it, and more of a decision maker. So I kind of try to control the game, make the right decisions, and give the ball to the right people in the right times. So I think with my position, again, I don't have to be big, but you have to be quite smart. And I'm lucky that I'm quite fast, so it helps in also dodging people.
So how did you feel when you first got on the pitch and having your first match? And as you just said, you have to be smart and be a decision maker. And how did you get acquired to these such of things, and you become experienced like now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously just playing rugby my whole life, you kind of get used to playing in these kind of games in these positions, so you kind of grab it. I think the first time I ever played for Hong Kong in the sevens, that was quite a big thing for me. I mean, playing in front of nearly 40,000 people against, I think I made my debut against England, who were one of the top teams. So obviously a little bit nervous. There's a lot of people cheering you on and rooting for you, but at the same time they're all watching you. So if you make a mistake, then everyone can see. So I definitely think that I'm now in my 5th year, or 5th or 6th year with the national side. You definitely learn to deal with the pressure, and your experience helps. And then you obviously have to make mistakes to learn from them. So I've made many mistakes in my career so far, but it helps you learn for the next time. And I think that's, when it comes to decision making and controlling a game, there's no real substitute for experience. So I think I'm a much smarter player now than I was 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Oh yeah. So what do you do on your day? Perhaps in the morning when you get up in the morning, or in your leisure time, what do you have any other hobbies other than rugby?
Yeah, I do. I love sports, so I pretty much play everything. I think if I have a free day, I'd love to play golf. I know it's quite hard in Hong Kong. Tennis is another one of my favourite sports. So if there's a chance to play some of those, I do. Otherwise, I quite like just watching TV and going to the movies. I think that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. So I know we just hang out with my friends and just chill out. Really, do nothing in particular. But
It's quite relaxing, I think.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, my week's so busy that when I have free time, it's quite nice to just do nothing.
Yeah. So what do you watch in your TV
And TV,
you like, or movies, or what genres of movies?
Yeah, I don't know. I think when there's a good series out, that's always quite good. I think the last one that I was watching was probably Jersey Shore, or even Gossip Girl. So stuff like that, it's quite easy to watch. And then obviously movies, I think as soon as they come out in the cinema, I quite like going. So that's pretty cool.
So what is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job, being a rugby player, it would probably have to be traveling. I think we're quite fortunate to have some tournaments in different countries. So I think I just came back from Shanghai last week. In about 2 weeks' time, we're going to Borneo in Malaysia, and then I think during Christmas we'll be going to Australia. So I mean, it's cool that we get to travel, and my teammates are now my friends, so it's like we go on holiday, but obviously when we play rugby, which we enjoy, so it's nice. We get to see different cultures, different places, experience different things, and play a sport that we like doing, so yeah, it's cool.
And which place do you like most?
Which place do I like most? That's a pretty good question. I think we had a tour to New Zealand about, I think it was last year or the year before, and that's pretty cool. Just because it's it's so picturesque and it's nice down there, and something I haven't seen before. The other place that we've been to is Denmark. I think that's a pretty strange place. I've never been there before, but it was beautiful again, so it's cool. Yeah.
How do you feel being a famous rugby star in Hong Kong?
Thank you. I don't know how famous I actually am, but yeah, no, it's nice. It's definitely nice to get some recognition. I think around the Hong Kong Sevens time, we have about 2 weeks of fame, which we all enjoy. So it's nice to kind of be recognised, and for some people to come up to us and ask us for a photo or for an autograph, and it kind of makes us feel nice. I try to tell some of the other players not to get too big-headed. I think their egos are big enough as they are. So it's good to stay grounded, but yeah, it's nice to have the support, and yeah, I like it.
In Hong Kong, the teens are not very involved in this sport, and so what do you think the government can do to encourage this sport?
The government. You're asking the wrong person there, but I think just in general, the government has has given a lot of money to the Sports Institute, and I think the facilities out there are pretty special at the moment. And I know they're making an active effort to try and promote different sports in Hong Kong. I think the success of rugby largely depends on how well we do, because I think if we do better, then they'll put more money in, and then obviously the profile of the sport will go up, which is what's been happening in the last 2 or 3 years with the East Asian Games and the Asian Games, where we won a silver medal. So I think from then on, the government kind of realised that, this is possibly a sport that could grow. We have the Hong Kong Sevens, which is an awesome event, and I think it's one of those mega events that brings hundreds of thousands of people to Hong Kong every year. So I think it's moving in the right direction, and I think that eventually, hopefully, the local schools will catch on to that.
So how about personally, what can the students or our teens in Hong Kong do so that we can become an athlete? For example, do we have to take up some trainings and become more muscular as you?
Thanks.
What really we can do?
Well, I think first of all, if you want to become an athlete, you have to find a sport that you love playing. So I think if you want to be a football player, a rugby player, a tennis player, whatever, you obviously have to have the passion to play. And I think obviously if you want to develop a passion for rugby, you have to start playing rugby and see if you like it or not. I think at the moment the Hong Kong Rugby Football Union have some pretty good development programs. I think there are mini rugby clubs all over the place. There are youth clubs, there are tertiary teams, and it's good. So I think they start you off playing touch rugby or tag rugby. So there's no real contact. I think it kind of just gets the ball in people's hands and the kind of the basics of the sport. And then if you like it and you want to progress, then obviously there are teams that you can go into to play full contact rugby, and then 7s and 15s. So I think in terms of in fitness and stuff, obviously it's useful to be in good shape. You don't have to be, obviously, but I think if you want to take it to the next level, then you have to start training, and then you have to start looking at stuff like your nutrition and your kind of just lifestyle in general. You just, instead of eating McDonald's, you have to eat, I don't know, not a salad, but something a little bit more healthy than that. And then,
how about your diet, as you said? What nutrition do you get in your routine, or?
Well, I think it's probably the same for most athletes. It's probably more protein based. So you kind of try and have a high protein diet. It just helps with recovery, building muscle, I guess. So we have to go to the gym quite a lot. So all this kind of stuff, high protein, lower carbs. That means you have lower fat, I think, hopefully. And then with if you're more kind of, I don't know, if you're more trim and stuff, then it's obviously easier to play. And then after trainings and gyms and stuff, gym sessions, they obviously have some supplements. So they give us extra protein, they give us vitamins and stuff like that. That obviously are aimed to kind of help recovery and to build muscle.
Yeah. So what is the major source, or what do you eat to get a lot of protein?
Well, basically it's meat. So I mean, I'm lucky. I love meat. I'm a bit of a carnivore, so I'll eat anything that's meat based, and I'll eat a lot of it. So I guess if I had to choose my favorite, it would have to be a steak or something like that. That's pretty good. But I think it's quite important that you do let yourself eat things that you do like. So I think from a personal point of view, everything in moderation is fine. So I think once a week I'll have a pizza. It's fine, enjoy it. But the rest of the week, then just kind of be a little bit smart and try be a bit more sensible of my diet.
Isn't rugby a dangerous sport, and do you have ever had a bad injury from the matches? Or?
Well, yeah, it is a pretty dangerous sport, I guess, because it's contact. Like I said, I'm quite a small player, so there are a lot of bigger guys who, when they hit you, it can hurt quite a lot. I don't know. I think with rugby, the worst injury I probably had is a torn ligament in my knee. So that's pretty bad. I've broken my nose maybe 2 or 3 times. It's not pretty. Doesn't look very good. But yeah, I mean, it comes with the game. You just have to hope that you don't get injured all the time. And obviously, if you kind of train well and prepare well, and put your body in the best shape possible, then obviously you can reduce your chance of injury.
So, okay, maybe we can talk about what's your favorite rugby team?
My favorite rugby team for the World Cup, or
for the World Cup.
For the World Cup, well, I guess I'd have to say England because my dad's English, so I'd have to support him. He'd probably kill me if I didn't. So, yeah, I think I'd support them this coming campaign. I think it's going to be a great World Cup. I love watching all the top teams play. I think England, New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, even a team like France have a really good chance this year. So, yeah, I'll definitely be watching and supporting England.
So do you often watch their matches and learn from them about maybe some tips or some techniques or skills to maybe you can acquire and take it in useful for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we watch the TV or these top teams playing, these are the best players in the world. So I mean, the likes of Dan Carter, Johnny Wilkinson, Quade Cooper, these are all famous players for the top teams. They're in my position. So obviously watching them play, it's pretty cool to see what they do and what I can do to be more like them. Obviously, if I was as good as them, I'd be playing for one of these teams if I could. So they're obviously really good to watch and really good to try and learn some things from. Yeah.
Oh, so what are the criteria so that Hong Kong students should have to be a rugby player? In your opinion, what do they really need to have in their character? Or?
Well, it's quite interesting. I think rugby is a really good sport in that respect because people of all different sizes and shapes can play. I know if you look at basketball, it's pretty much you have to be pretty tall to play basketball at a high level. With football, you have to be kind of fit, you have to run around a lot. But with rugby, it's kind of an isolated sport in that respect, that you can have some big guys that'll be in the forwards that'll try drive the other guys off the ball. You can have big, powerful guys that can try bust through the middle, and you can have small guys that can distribute, play make, and kind of run around people and stuff. So I think physically, in your physicality, anybody can play rugby. But then again, it's just if you have that drive and if that passion to play sport, that's what you really need if you want to be a rugby player.
So do you think that Hong Kong students will have the potential to be a rugby player, or what do you suggest them to do more so that they can become a rugby player?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at our team, we already have 4 or 5 local Hong Kong guys that have played in the Hong Kong Sevens, played for the national 15s teams. People like Fan Chun Gay and Kwok Ah Chun, they're some of the local stars, and they're good players. I think they started when they were young, and I think especially Kwok Ah Chun, he's a fireman. He's a big guy, and he trains really hard in the gym, and he's got his strength up, and he's one of the best players now. So I think any local Hong Kong player can aspire to be something like that, and I think it just takes a bit of dedication and hard work, but it's definitely worth it. So yeah.
So thank you for the interview, and hope you can have a great success in your future, and hope you can go to Japan as you said and have a bright future.
That'll be great. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.